UAE. And Nermin is going to talk about ChatGPT and the power of AI tools in shaping approaches and empowering personalized learning. So we're fascinated to hear what your work is in this area, Nermin. So please, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Don, for providing this opportunity for me to join such a great conference. And I would like to start with talking about ChatGPT, as it's now it's I think all the education is revolutionized with ChatGPT and what's it's going on in teaching and learning. So I'm going to share my screen regarding for my presentation. So for the ChatGPT, if we will start talking about as a definition for the ChatGPT, as we know that all of us, it is it's an AI-powered language developed by OpenAI. And as we know that technology continues to advance at a rapid pace with its transformative potential, and AI, and especially if we talk about ChatGPT, it is transformative potential, as it's revolutionizing the way everyone from teachers to students, and at the same time anyone that approaches education, and not only in schools, but as you know, that also in higher education. For the interactive learning experience, that ChatGPT facilitates engaging and interactive in learning sessions. That if we talk about, for example, if we the learners, that ChatGPT provide the learners with personalized feedback and guidance as they can work through their curriculum or the system, that they can analyze their work and the learners' performance and adapt the instructions to their needs. It creates and simulates, and it works like a role play with a dialogue between the learner and the ChatGPT. And of course, if we talk about gamification and gamified learning, it really makes a difference, especially with kids learning, as it creates more fun for them, and of course motivation. It creates motivated environment of learning for kids. If we talk about traditional education and challenges, so first point that we'd like to mention, that limited teacher-student interaction, as we know that at schools, and especially with the COVID-19 situation, we faced with the personalized attention, and the feedback, it was almost the guidance, it almost were nothing. There was no any or a very limited guidance from the teachers to their students during that time. And even at schools that we see that teachers, they don't have enough time to contact with their learners or with their students. Also passive learning methods, that some students that maybe they are shy, or they feel that they don't have enough time to contact with their teachers or to ask questions. So these systems can, I think, affect the traditional education. It affects as challenges that affect the performance of the students. And I think ChatGPT can answer these questions and by supporting the students at any time. For personalized learning with ChatGPT, I think it's we can see that it serves as a tutor, adapting to each student's with different learning styles. And we have a digital tutor for 24/7, providing real-time feedback and with the students that they were working their studies, and also it can analyze learners' performance and adapt instructions to their learners' needs. Also, ChatGPT can provide real-time feedback and guidance rather than just waiting for the teachers or the tutor to receive the feedback. If we talk about the benefits of ChatGPT, and I see that it's for the personalized learning experiences, it's catered to individual needs. Like as I mentioned, like for if we talk about the learning styles of the learners, it covers that what the learners for different learning styles and different intelligence, multiple intelligences that we can have in our classrooms as teachers. Also, for the virtual assistants, it provides ongoing support for the students. And interactive learning methods, it fosters deep understanding for the students. If we talk about also the main benefits of ChatGPT in education, that we can talk about teachers that it helps teachers save time on their administrative tasks, and we can see that really most of the teachers, they are overwhelmed nowadays with the administrative tasks or work. Also, it's a source of inspiration for teachers to prepare their classes and prepare for their lessons. And I know that some teachers, they said that it saves a lot of time for them to prepare for their lessons, to prepare their lessons plans. And also we can say that it improves teachers' day-to-day work, that instead of some classes, maybe the students, they found it boring, or they find it not interesting, that maybe it supports teachers to create attractive environment classroom. So and I think also for the teachers that it saved the preparing lessons, as we said, to create, it's easily to find content for the lessons that they are preparing. And if we talk about, of course, the ethical considerations, I think we need to ensure the data privacy and security for the students or even the teachers who are using the ChatGPT. Also, we need to maintain transparency in AI algorithm, which I think it's not an easy process to do that. Fostering responsible ChatGPT or artificial intelligence use, I think also it needs time to think about this, and it needs a lot of research to create responsible use of ChatGPT or artificial intelligence. Rather than this, if we talk about other points related to the ethical considerations, like cyberbullying, for example, or inappropriate content, academic dishonesty, and also the misinformation that can be provided by the ChatGPT, like when we mentioned before, during the residential meeting when we talk about hallucination for that provided by the ChatGPT for academic writing regarding references. So if we talk about ChatGPT as a friend, so I think it will continue to evolve, new personalized learning, and it will empower students to become learners. And as you know, that it makes like education to become very easy to access, more accessible, catering for diverse needs, of course. And at the same time, if we talk about, I mean, on the other side, like, for example, here, it's a study done, one of the recent studies about ChatGPT done by Montenegro Ruda in 2023. So if you see that they compare between the advantages and disadvantages as educational support and at the same time educational problems that we can face. Also students training and teacher training. And I think that teachers now, all teachers should be trained how to use ChatGPT to face the challenges that they can have with their to contact or to be in communication with their students. If we look at the other side for ChatGPT as a foe, so some results are misleading and inaccurate, as we know, and this is for a study done by Magahed and al. In 2023. And also the inaccuracy of the information provided, as we mentioned, that's something about hallucination, and especially for the academic writing and finding references. And also the data it generates, it's a mix of true and completely fabricated ones in academic writing. This is as for the two references done by, two researchers done by Domenech 2023 and Al-Qaisi and McFarlane 2023. So these are the references that I use to find information about ChatGPT and in a kind of research. And I know that most of them, they are recently done for this year, 2023. So as a final thought, I can say that ChatGPT is one of the most promising technologies or artificial intelligence in general. And at the same time, they can revolutionize learning. And it's ideal for making learning fast and increasing the rate of completion, but not only can enhance learning, but also can improve students' engagement and interaction. But at the same time, educators and policymakers should be aware of the other side of the let's see, the other face of the say the ChatGPT as a foe, that it can someday, maybe we will not find creativity in writing, or we will be, as students or teachers, we will lose our creativity in writing because of overuse of ChatGPT or artificial intelligence in education. Thank you.
Thank you, Nermin. Thank you for a really interesting presentation and a focus on AI and GPT, which is certainly well, of contemporary interest. I think very, very wide interest. It's so interesting that it's emerged so rapidly as a field of technology that is of interest to so many groups and individuals. So thank you for offering that perspective from a research point of view. That's really helpful. I could talk to you for a long time about AI and ChatGPT in education, but I'm going to, we've got a minute for any comments or questions. I don't know if there are any in the chat, Carmen.
Yes, we do have a few comments and a question. So, first of all, apologies for Carlin, who has to leave. Thank you for a wonderful presentation, and thank you, Don, for all the work. And Matrice is saying that your presentation was quite refreshing. Too often we hear the negatives of ChatGPT, so this was a nice departure to hear of benefits. I love the inclusion of multiple intelligence. And then we have Pamela saying thank you for a very interesting and informative afternoon. And then finally, Marie is saying many thanks for this presentation. Below, I would like to ask if you have time to respond the following questions. So the first time is ChatGPT can sometimes perpetuate biases present in training data and hallucinates. So what do you think can be done to ensure that interactive learning experiences are culturally sensitive and free from bias, especially when dealing with a diverse group of children? Additionally, can you share any ethical considerations around data privacy and the potential for over-reliance on artificial intelligence for learning and development, which is important in this area of learning and development, especially in young children, age 5-15?
Okay, I don't know whether if you have a quick answer to that, Nermin. My guess is that you don't. But I think it's a really good question that you've posed, Mary. But would you like to offer a starter response, and then maybe you'd have chance to communicate further beyond this?
I can say thank you, Mari, for your question, but I can say that yes, it's. I totally agree with you that it's sometimes that bias present in training data or hallucination, but I can think that it's still we need to be aware of using ChatGPT. So I think the students, they are going to use it. Either we accept or we reject that. And the students, they are really using it. I remember a discussion with my students. It was just recently, like 2 weeks ago, and most of them, they are using ChatGPT, but at the same time, they are not aware of that it's what it can be done with their creativity regarding, especially regarding writing, of course. And at the same time that I think that, as I mentioned, that the policymakers and educators should work on trying to find like a solution or a method to try to encourage the wise use of ChatGPT. And of course, that I remember that Professor Don, when we were talking about that, yes, we were talking about ChatGPT in the residential meeting, but still that now I think that maybe it was that time like 6 months ago, or it was not that most of the students now they are overwhelmed with using ChatGPT, not like before. So I think that we need to think about it seriously, because really I think it's yes it's good to use it, and it saves time, as we said, but at the same time we need to think about the pitfalls that we need to avoid before it becomes that we reach a level of let's say we cannot, or a step that we cannot take it back.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nermin. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Tony. Thank you.
And certainly I would agree with that. And I think that at the same time as we're developing or using AI and applications like ChatGPT, we also need to be thinking about how to develop criticality so that users can be critical of what is being accessed rather than accepting of what is being accessed. I think that could in essence be you know, a particularly useful forward approach in terms of developing critical thinking, which I think is something that we would all wish to see in one form or another. But I won't go on with that direction. But thank you so much, Nermin, for your presentation. Thank you very much indeed. So I'm aware of the fact